In my professional life, I've encountered two types of people, dreamers and architects. Which one are you? Are you the dreamer type? Someone who's really visionary and imaginative, always ambitious, just a little bit delusional. Someone who has never ending ideas. Like you got journals full of affirmations and half formed plans. You the type of person who, when your brain tells you that if you can imagine it, then you can achieve it. You're going to shoot for the moon every time. Or are you more like an architect, a structure builder, someone that lives firmly in reality, someone who's always aware of what it takes to actually get things done? Like when you hear someone talk about pulling off a big idea, automatically you thinking about time, money, people, capacity. Your brain basically works in bullet points. To be fair, an architect is also the type of person who can actually turn a dream into a plan and a plan into reality. I'm not someone who tends to think in binary terms or like black and white thinking, like you're either this or you're that. But I do think that this distinction can be useful to keep in mind, especially if you're a person like me who's trying to create or build something of your own. So even though you're probably thinking, oh, I'm a little bit of both, this won't apply to me, just hear me out. As a millennial, someone right on the line between Gen Z and a millennial, I'm part of the generation that's been aggressively pushed towards entrepreneurship. And to be fair, it's for a lot of good reasons. We all know the job market is trash. And jobs ain't jobbing like they used to. The cost of living is way too high in most cities to rely on a traditional 9 to 5 income alone. So now everybody and their mama is an entrepreneur. And that is no shade, okay? I'm actually a full-time advocate for Black people building their own everything. Like that's part of my whole thing. I'm here for the Black-owned restaurants, the salons, the mechanics, the schools, the ice cream shops, the laundromats, the production companies, all that, okay? Something we commonly hear, though, about entrepreneurship is that you have to be willing to take a risk if you want to succeed. And that's true. Anybody who's ever built a business knows how often you're really just stepping out on faith, praying that everything works out. As a result, studies show that entrepreneurs are actually a statistically overconfident group of people. This basically just means that to be an entrepreneur, you have to be at least a little bit delusional. Just a little bit. Being overconfident means that you tend to underestimate risk and overestimate your chance of success. Your brain likes to skip to the part of your plan where basically everything already worked out. Your your dream is being fully realized in all of its glory. Never mind how much anything costs, or how long it takes to build, or the possibility that no one might show up, tune in, or check out. People that tend to succeed as entrepreneurs are dreamers. They don't let reality interfere with their plans. And I know so many people like this. I'm actually surrounded by them on all sides. And as crazy as they are, what the studies say is true. They're actually incredibly successful at what they do. I have dreamer friends that will plan a massive event by themselves and have thousands of people show up. Or decide to open an ice cream store with zero experience, launch it in under 3 months, and end up with a smash hit business that people love. I know dreamers that left their jobs with no real savings, no clear next steps. They just decided to follow their intuition, act without fear, and build their own businesses. And now they've been 9 to 5 free for years while managing to keep their bills paid all off the strength of their own ideas. All of the most successful founders, entrepreneurs, and creatives I know are dreamers by nature. They dream first, act next, think later. And I admire the hell out of them because that is not who I am, like at all. But at the same time that I see how this visionary quality allows my friends to find success, I also get to see up close how it causes chaos. The dream is going to come to life, but baby, it is also going to stress some people out, okay? Many of the ambitious dreamers I know feel they can't afford to really stress the small details of a major plan if it means that they might overthink the whole thing, and then the project might potentially not come to life. But in my experience, the cost of never focusing on the small details, the boring stuff, like how much things cost or how long things take and who actually is responsible for making things happen, the cost is structure, sustainability, and ultimately sanity. Without a plan grounded in reality, every time you run a play, it feels like the first time. You're always caught scrambling at the last minute. You're forgetting dates and deadlines, missing meetings, juggling multiple priorities, lost in a sea of emails and open tabs, unread text messages. And secretly, I think some of you like this part. Like there's an adrenaline rush you get from all of the risk and the uncertainty. But even in best case scenario, where you make it through the crazy part and bring your plan to life, what's still at stake is the fact that what you're building, what you're creating, is not really built to last. Only you know the method to your madness. There's no team, no systems, no process. And this is the problem for Black people in particular, because if we want to build institutions and businesses that benefit ourselves, our families, and our communities for generations, then we have to build with sustainability in mind. This is where people like me come in, the architects. And I really think this is the key to success that anyone looking to build or create their own thing needs to keep in mind. There is an evolutionary theory called complementary cognition. It says that human survival is dependent on the fact that individuals with different yet complementary ways of processing and thinking about the world, they have to work together. It's like yin and yang. Humans work best in complementary relationships. Basically, every dreamer needs an architect. Research on startups consistently finds that visionary founders who operate alone struggle with execution. But those with operational or financially grounded partners, they grow way more sustainably, way more quickly. And it makes complete sense. Structure-oriented people like me are likely to overthink, overplan, overanalyze on our own. And I'll admit, unlike many of my friends, it's not really easy for me to simply just trust in intuition and just move without fear and launch big ideas into the world. I feel like if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it all the way right. That takes time and thoughtfulness and planning and branding and market research and until I end up just never executing. What I found, though, is that when I partner my structured way of thinking with my friend's visionary ambition, shit really gets done. There's actually magic in the combination of two brains that work in different ways working together. Of course, it requires a really high level of communication, trust, teamwork, and compromise on both sides. And finding that balance is honestly a topic worthy of a whole other discussion. But with the right group of people, the dreamer-architect combo is elite. And I desperately want to see more entrepreneurs, more Black entrepreneurs of my generation embrace it. So to my visionaries, my dreamers, stop trying to do this shit alone, okay? You are only going to burn yourself out. And what you're building is valuable. It deserves to be tended to thoughtfully and given a real chance to grow sustainably so that you can inspire other creatives with an example of what it looks like to actually do things the right way. And to my thinkers, my architects, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, okay? But you got to get in the field. We are real life needed out here. If you are sitting on a professional skill set, or even if you're just a highly organized person who struggles with the initiative to bring your own ideas into life, find someone or something to support. None of the movements that came before us were built by anyone working by themselves. Behind every single confident speaker, leader, or dreamer, there was an architect or a team of architects getting shit done behind them. So be bold and own that role. Ultimately, the goal for each of us is to know ourselves, right? To know our own strengths and our own weaknesses. And then to be able to ask, who do I need next to me? And who is waiting for what I bring?